Oi, gente! Olá! Hello, everyone! Welcome to this class. Welcome to the Brazilian Portuguese Week. Today is the fourth day of this event. I'm very happy to be here with you today. We are at the middle of the week. Time passes so fast. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me well. I want to know if the microphone is working well. Just placing here. Muito bom, gente! Olá! Oi, David! Oi, Daniela, Delphi, Margus, James, Alexia, Pierre, Ron, Fátima, Marina, Anne-Marie, tudo bom? So good to see you all here. Today we are going to talk about prepositions, preposições. What is this? I'm going to explain to you what is this and how to use prepositions in Portuguese. This is one very complex topic, and even intermediate and advanced students struggle with prepositions. Today we are going to talk about only the most basic ones because we don't have time to talk about everything. There are many prepositions in Portuguese, just like in other languages. But I hope to help you with the most important, most common ones today, okay? I prepared, que bom, you guys can see me and hear me well, obrigada. So I prepared a lesson guide so you can download and have this material to study and review after the class. If you have not downloaded yet, it is available on the courses page. This event, if you don't know, if you just got this link and you're here, this is a free event. But to have access to the material and the replays, you have to sign up on the website. Okay, you have to sign up. It is free, but you have to go there and put your email and password so you have access to the material. I'm going to show you where you can find the material and then before we can start the class, tá bem? Muito bom. Então vamos lá. Let me just share my screen with you. So this is the page that I created just to for this event. You just go to BrazilianPortugueseWeek.com and click on sign up for free. If you have not done that yet. If you have already signed up, don't use this website. Just click on the link that I sent you every morning. Every morning I send you an email as a reminder for this class, right? So just click that link. Is the easiest link to get to the material. Okay, so this page is just for those who have not signed up for the event yet. Okay, and you also find the entire program here. Today is day 4. And we are talking about prepositions specifically for beginners, but if you are intermediate level, it is a good review for you, okay? But tomorrow and Friday, the class will be intermediate level. So if your level is intermediate, if you can understand Portuguese, class 100% in Portuguese, don't miss the next 2 classes. So tomorrow and Friday, the class will be intermediate level. I will speak Portuguese only in class, and we're going to talk about more advanced topics such as compound tenses. And on Friday, we're going to talk about expressions, Brazilian expressions. And on Saturday, we are going to have the last class. I'm going to share with you study tips, things that I do to learn languages that can be helpful for you. And I also have more time to answer your questions. Tá bem? Muito bom, gente. Okay, so I see that Rashona cannot hear me. Do you guys can hear me? If you cannot hear me as well, let me know. Okay, so now, before we continue, I just want to remind you that my courses are now open for enrollment. This is always a very special moment for me, guys, because I don't offer courses every month. I work with a very small team, so I need to open enrollment and then close enrollment to take care of the students. And now I am the enrollment is open for the classes that start in May. So if you want to learn Portuguese with me, this is the right moment to start. The next class after this one. Okay, so Janet is saying that you can hear me. Okay, just to make sure. So the next class after this one that starts in May, the next one will be in August or September. I still have not defined the date yet. So if you really want to learn Portuguese now, this is the moment to start. Okay, so don't wait for next month because I won't have any class starting next month. Tá bem? So these are the courses that I offer. I offer 4 courses depending on your level. and your objectives. If you're not sure what is your level, I also have a placement test. So if you go to my website, speakingbrazilian.com, you click on courses, you can see all the courses that I offer and also the placement test, okay? Muito bom. So here, the essential course for beginners is the course that I recommend for those who are starting now, or for those who have studied a little bit, like using Duolingo or other apps. This is the course for you. This course is very complete and intensive. It is going to give you a very solid foundation in the language in 3 months, okay? It lasts 12 weeks, and you have access to a lot of material on the website to study by yourself, in addition to a live class via Zoom with a teacher, a Brazilian teacher, and a small group of students, okay? You find all the information on this page. If you don't want to read all the information, you just click on enroll, and then you find the prices and the options to enroll, okay? I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee in all my courses, so if you're not sure but you want to try it, feel free to try it. Don't worry, if you change your mind, you can request a refund within 30 days from the day of purchase, okay? I just want you to know that. The next course that I offer is the pre-intermediate workshop. This course is for those who have completed the beginner's course, or if you're arriving now, this course is for those who have already studied the most basic content. You just need to review the basic and practice and get more comfortable to speak Portuguese. So it is for upper beginner level students, okay? If you're not sure, take the placement test. The placement test will help you decide. This course is recommended for those who have studied Portuguese for at least 3 to 6 months. You should know all the main verb conjugations already and all the main basic vocabulary already before you join this course, okay? The next course is the Grammar and Conversation Workshop. This one is for intermediate level students. The class is 100% in Portuguese and in focus in grammar and how to use this grammar, how to use it in conversation, how to use the details in sentences. So this course is new. I just created as the first class, the first course that I'm teaching, and I highly recommend for those who you are already intermediate level, you can understand and speak Portuguese, but you need to learn intermediate level grammar. So this is a good one for those who have finished the pre-intermediate workshop. And I have some students that are already enrolled in my intermediate class, the academy, and they are taking a break or they are joining this course to review grammar because it is going to be a very good, it will give you a solid foundation in intermediate level grammar, okay? So if you like what I just said, this is the course for you. And the fourth course, the last class that I offer is Speaking Brazilian Academy. The Academy is my favorite course because it's the most, it's the funner one. It is a course for upper intermediate level students. This course is for those who do not need to learn grammar. You just want to practice Portuguese. There are many grammar lessons available in the academy that you can study, and in class we also sometimes review grammar, and I have a Q&A every month and I answer a lot of questions about grammar. I'm not saying that we never study grammar in the academy. We do study grammar once in a while, but it's not the focus. The focus of the academy is conversation, and it is the place that I created for you to practice regularly because I struggle with that. I speak French and I struggle a lot because, okay, I have studied all the grammar. I've been studying French for 10 years, but I don't have a place to practice. So where can I practice French? I don't have, my husband is Brazilian, speak Portuguese in class. I live in the US. How am I going to speak French and practice? So that's why I created this Speaking Brazilian Academy to offer you a place to practice Portuguese regularly. This program will help you to become more comfortable speaking Portuguese. It will help you become more fluent, and the classes are super fun. And okay, so in talking about French, I just found out that my teacher, Yasmin Lezire, she offers a course that is similar to this one, and I just signed up. So it's similar to the Speaking Brazilian Academy, but it is in French. If you're interested in learning French, you can look for her. Her website is ilearnfrench.eu. So just a parenthesis. Muito bom, gente. So these are the courses that I offer. If you are interested, go to my website and take a look. If you're not sure about your level, just take the placement test, okay? And just a reminder, if you sign up for one course and if you think, oh, this is not exactly my level, it's too easy, it's too difficult, you can switch to another class. Just let us know. And if you just really change your mind and decide, okay, this is not for me, you can just ask for a refund within 30 days of the day of purchase. Tá bem? Muito bom, gente. And I also want to invite you to follow me on Instagram. This account is pretty new because I had an account that was canceled, disappeared a couple of months ago. So I have this new one now. So I'd like to invite you to follow me if you're not following me already. And I also created a challenge to encourage you to practice Portuguese a little bit more after the class. So I encourage you to go to my Instagram account after the class, follow me, and take a look at the challenge. If you take the challenge, you're also going to participate in a giveaway. By the end of the week, I'm going to give away a pronunciation coaching class to one of those who participated in the challenge, okay? And the more challenges you complete, the more chances you have to win. This is just a fun way of practicing Portuguese, and I'm also going to have this giveaway to encourage you to practice your Portuguese and do the challenge, tá bem? And also, last thing, I promise, stay with me, stay with us until the end of the class, because at the end of the class, I'm also gonna have a giveaway because I want to encourage you to stay until the end, to have, persistence, don't give up, stay until the end of the class. And by the end of the class, I'm also gonna give away a pronunciation coaching session with one of the teachers of Speaking Brazilian School. So don't go anywhere, stay with us until the end, tá bem? Okay, guys, I see. If you have any questions, let me know. But now I am going to share my other screen with you so we can start talking about Portuguese. Então vamos lá. And a reminder, we have also Aline, my assistant, she's in the comments, the chat, so you can talk with her. She's going to answer your questions and help. She's Brazilian. She's not a teacher, but she's Brazilian, so she can also help you with your Portuguese, and she can answer any questions that you have about the courses, about our school, tá bem? Muito bom. I'm going to show you I see that some comments about French here. I'm going to show you the course that I'm taking now. It's I Learn French. Okay, I just cannot see. I Learn French.eu. I think that's the website. So this is okay, my internet's not that fast now. So this is the course that I am taking in French. And this is my teacher, Yasmin. And she has many, many different courses. It is very interesting. And the one that I chose, it is one that is for advanced learners. The one that I just joined, it is called this one, Café Français. It is excellent. I'm very excited. I'm starting next week. Okay, just to show you the French course that I recommend if you are learning French. Okay, guys, so now let's get started. I'm gonna share my other screen with you. Okay, so this is the material that I prepared for today's class. So let's talk about prepositions. But to start, what is this? What is a preposition? In Portuguese, preposição, preposição. Preposições are those words, are little words, usually they're small words, but some prepositions are actually long. Então, preposições are words that connect two terms in a sentence. So they are very, very important because they connect words and they give meaning. If you use the wrong preposition, the meaning can change a lot. So it is very important to use the correct preposition, right? Sometimes if you use the wrong preposition, we can understand, but sometimes the meaning changes completely, so it is impossible to know what you're saying if you're not using the correct preposition, okay? One question that I receive a lot all the time from my students is, oh, what verbs do we use with prepositions? It is impossible to answer this question because the list of verbs that are used with preposition is huge. There are hundreds of verbs used with prepositions, so I don't recommend that you worry about that. I don't recommend that you study a list of verbs with prepositions. That is going to take forever, and it's not going to be fun. So what I recommend for you about which preposition I use with which verb, I recommend that you just relax and practice Portuguese and study Portuguese. You will learn this naturally just by with time and practice, and also by observing and imitating native speakers, okay? Because if you stop to learn which verb with which preposition is too much, the list is very long. So my recommendation for you is to not worry about that. Study the most common ones, and the rest will come naturally as you learn Portuguese. Like listening to watching videos, listening to podcasts, listening to Brazilians, you will learn how to use all the prepositions with time, okay? So let's start talking about the most common prepositions. There are many, many, many prepositions. I don't have time. It is impossible to talk about everything in this class. So I just made a list of the most important ones, the most basic, the most used ones, and that you should know how to use at a beginner and intermediate level, okay? And yeah, I see people saying, oh, it is difficult to use prepositions. Yes, you know, it is difficult for everyone. Still today, I'm still sometimes, oh, is it on, in, or at? Is it to or for? Even in English, I've been studying English my entire life. Sometimes I'm still, I'm not sure. I have to double check. So Portuguese is the same thing. It is not always easy. Some prepositions are very easy to use. It's very simple. Other prepositions are not easy at all, but you just have to be patient, and you're going to make mistakes, but it's totally okay, right? We all make mistakes. Muito bom, gente. So a primeira preposição, the first preposition, is the preposition com. This is the easiest one, really. There is only one translation into English. It does not vary, it's always the same. There are no variations. It's a very simple preposition to use. Com, it means with, that's it. And the translation to English is usually the same. Usually there are no variations. Então, por exemplo, one example of a verb that we commonly use with the preposition com is the verb falar. Falar means to speak with or to talk, depending on the context. Speak or talk. Falar com. So just like in English, we commonly use falar com, speak with or talk with, ok? Por exemplo, eu falo com minha amiga todos os dias. Eu falei com minha amiga ontem. Eu vou falar com minha amiga amanhã. So here I'm giving you 3 similar examples so you can also see conjugations a little bit. It's not the topic of the day, but I want to just remind you how to use present, past, and future tense. Just a review while we study also this preposition, okay? So present, past, and future tense. So let's practice a little bit. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions in this class, and be prepared to type in the comments so you practice a little bit Portuguese. If you are a complete beginner, if you're not comfortable writing, you can try to use Google Translate. It's okay, but pay attention so you assimilate, so you understand what you're doing, okay? And if you're not a complete beginner, try to do it without Google Translate, tá bem? Então vamos lá, uma pergunta para você, a question for you. Quando foi a última vez que você falou com seu melhor amigo? So here I'm using past tense. So try to use past tense to answer this question. You can see the example in past tense right here. So pay attention to the conjugation, okay? If you use past tense, you should say eu falei. If you use present tense, you should say eu falo. Remember that we talked about this in the first class this week. If you have not watched the first class, go back to the first class. You can watch a replay later, okay? I recommend you do. You will learn, if you join my beginners course, you will learn all these tenses and all the main important tenses in my beginners course, because this is very important as a beginner student. I'm going to read some of your comments in a minute. I'm just going to give you one more example of the word with the preposition com. But before I give you this example, I wanted to talk a little bit about pronunciation. How do we pronounce the preposition com? So remember that the letter M in Portuguese, when it is placed at the end of words, The M does not sound like a regular M. We don't touch the lips to pronounce. It is not com. No. It is com. Com. It sounds a little bit like as if it were something like this. More or less. Com. Com. Okay? There is no M sound. There is like a soft diphthong. Com. Com. It is a nasal sound. So the M here, it makes the letter O nasal, but we don't pronounce the M, ok? Então vamos lá, exemplos. Examples with the verb morar, which means to live, and the preposition com, like to live with someone. Por exemplo, eu moro com meu marido e meu cachorro. Eu morei com minha mãe até os 18 anos. Eu vou morar com minha amiga por uma semana. So examples also present, past, and futures, just to give you a review of these tenses. And one more question for you, and then I'm going to stop and read some of your comments. Com quem você mora? With whom do you live? Com quem você mora? So you can follow these templates. Eu moro com, remember if you use present tense, eu moro com, eu morei com, ou eu vou morar com, tá bem? Muito bom! So Down says, sounds like a little bit like Kong. Yeah, I think it sounds like sounds like a little bit like Kong, but there is no G sound, right? It's not Kong. It's like Kong. But it's a good comparison. Vamos lá, I'm gonna read some of the comments. Eu moro com meu namorado brasileiro. Que legal, Linnea. Muito bom. Eu moro com meu marido. Muito bom, Mônica. Moro com meu pai. Excelente. Moro com meus 2 gatos. Que legal. Moro com meu namorado. Sou com o verbo falar. Falei com o Vitor, meu amigo de Lisboa, há 3 dias. Excelente. Excelente. Falei com minha amiga a semana... so here you just have to change the position of the word semana and passada. Eu falei com a minha amiga semana passada. Semana passada. So many times in Portuguese we change the position of the words, the position when compared to English. We just change the position. So in Portuguese we say semana passada instead of passada semana, okay? And remember that the word passada should be feminine because the word semana is feminine and the word passada must agree with the gender of the word semana. Muito bom, Marina! Há 2 horas eu falei com minha melhor amiga. Muito bom, Bill! Que legal! Eu não falei com meu avô hoje. Muito bom, Fátima! Oh, this is interesting. So the pronunciation would be like com, maybe. But you know that the word com, there is no N sound as well. So this is the confusion, right? Because in Portuguese we have the nasal sound, com. There is no M sound and there is no N sound. No, it's just the on sound, com. But I like your comparisons, guys. So question, how can it be used to ask questions? For example, who do you live with, or how it would be in Portuguese? Oh, I think I just answered your question in this question, right? So who do you live with in Portuguese would be com quem você mora. The translation into English is, I translated in the document like word by word, with whom do you live? But I know that in English it's much more common to say who do you live with, right? But in Portuguese we say com quem, so the preposition, we cannot say quem você mora com. We don't say that in Portuguese. We don't place the com at the end. No, it is com quem. Com quem você mora means who do you live with, or with whom do you live. I know that with whom sounds too formal, right? We don't really speak like that in colloquial language, but that would be the translation. Muito bom, gente. Excelente. So let's continue. I'm going to read more of your comments soon, but I want to continue so we have time to talk about all the content that I prepared for you today. Just need to hydrate a little bit. Did you guys drink water today? Remember to drink water. Lembre-se de beber água. Muito bom, gente. Vamos lá. Now let's talk about the preposition em. So same thing here. Please don't kill me. I know the pronunciation sometimes doesn't make sense. So the preposition em, we don't pronounce the M. It's not M. No, it's em. It's em. And it sounds like a little bit like as if there is the letter E-A. It sounds like a diphthong, like two vowels. Even though we write with just one vowel, we pronounce as if there were two. Em. It is a nasal sound. There is no M and no N sound. It's just a nasal sound. Em. So this preposition is a little bit more complicated because it connects with the articles, and sometimes depending on the noun that you have right after, you have to agree if it is feminine or masculine. You have to use the article a or o, and then when that happens, you have to connect the preposition with the article a and o, and that's when it becomes a little bit more complicated for you guys, because then you have to think about gender. I know it is hard, but I'm gonna show you here the summary of this preposition. So the preposition is em, em, and it doesn't have a gender because the prepositions, they don't have gender. They are just like used to connect words. It doesn't matter if it is masculine or feminine. They don't have a gender. But if you're using this preposition right before a feminine noun, you have to use the preposition with the feminine article a, which means the, and then you have to connect the preposition em with the preposition a, and then we have the word na, okay? And then if you use this preposition right before a masculine noun, you have to do the same thing. Em plus o equals no, okay? Na, no, okay? And I'm not going to talk a lot about this because that would take a long time, but just a quick tip. When you're talking about, for instance, if you use the verb morar, which means to live in a place. If you use the word morar and you're talking about a city, usually cities in Brazil, they are neutral. So you should always use the preposition em. However, if you're saying that you live in a country, usually countries in Portuguese, they are either feminine or masculine. So you have to use the feminine or masculine preposition. And also, if it is plural or singular, you also have to agree with that. So I'm going to give you examples here. I have lessons about this on my YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about the preposition em, just take a look for a video about this on my YouTube channel, okay? And then I'll explain all the details. Então, por exemplo, eu moro nos Estados Unidos. So what does nos here mean? This nos is the preposition em connected with the masculine plural article os, nos. So it means I live in the United States, okay? In the United States. Passado, eu morei no Brasil por muitos anos. Eu gostaria de morar na França. So França is a feminine country, that's why I use the word na. Brazil is a masculine country, that's why I use the pronoun, the word no. And United States, Estados Unidos, is a masculine plural word, right? Masculine and plural. That's why we say nos. So Roger's asking about the gender of the states, right? So unfortunately, I cannot help you with that because it varies so much. There is no rule. Some states have a gender, some states don't, so whatever. If you're not sure, just use the gender neutral preposition, that's okay. You will be fine. You will learn this with practice because there is no rule at all. It's a confusion. Even in Brazil, when you're talking about states in the US, most of the states, they are neutral, but like California is feminine, Texas is masculine. There's no rule. It doesn't make any sense. In Brazil, the same thing. Some states, they have a gender, some states, they don't. So don't worry about that. But when we're talking about cities, like almost always it is neutral, and when you talk about countries, they usually have masculine or feminine. Portugal, I saw someone asking, I don't see it now, but Portugal, it is neutral. Portugal is neutral. Muito bom. So question for you. I spent a lot of time talking about this preposition because I know it is a little bit more complicated. So let's practice. Onde você mora? Where do you live? Onde você mora? So pay attention to the use of the preposition, okay? I'm going to read some of your comments in a minute. I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to use the verb estar with this same preposition because we use a lot this verb with this preposition, estar. We use this verb estar to talk about location. Remember that I talked a little bit about the difference between verbs ser and estar in many other classes. Ser is used for permanent things and estar for temporary things. So when you're talking about location, you use verb estar, right? So when you say, I am at home, you're not going to use verb ser because you're not fixed at home. You're just temporarily at home. Então, eu estou em casa. And with the verb estar, when we are talking about location, we also use the preposition em because we use a lot this preposition to talk about location, right? Eu estou em casa. Eu estou no trabalho. So trabalho is a masculine word, so in this case, I have to say no. Eu estou no trabalho. Eu estou na padaria. Padaria is a feminine word, so in this case, I have to say eu estou na padaria, okay? So question for you. Onde você está agora? Where are you now? Onde você está agora? So you have to use verb estar and you have to use the preposition to answer this question, tá bem? And so I'm gonna read some of your comments now before I continue. Muito bom, gente. Eu moro na Califórnia. Excelente. So if it is with these articles, it is always contracted. It is mandatory. So whenever you use this preposition with the article o or a, it is mandatory to make to contract these two words. But sometimes if you're using the indefinite articles, it is optional. You could say em or num. So in those cases, it is optional. So sometimes it is optional, but with these two little words, o and a is mandatory. You cannot say em a. You have to say na, okay? Good question, Todd. Eu moro na Califórnia. Muito bom, Ryan. Eu estou em casa. Excelente, Richard. Eu moro nos Emirados Árabes. Que legal. Eu moro em Irlanda. So Irlanda is feminine. I have one tip for you. If the country ends with the letter A, it is feminine. Eu moro em Irlanda. Em Irlanda. Canada, it is masculine because it has the acute accent at the end. So it is masculine, but if it ends with A, there is no accent, it is feminine. Muito bom. Eu moro em Copenhagen, na Dinamarca. Excelente. So I think Roger, I think Roger was asking about the States, not the United States, right? In Brazil, we call the United States, we call it Estados Unidos. We don't call it Estados. It would not make any sense. Muito bom. Eu moro, o meu trabalhar. I think you mean I live at work. So in this case, you have to say eu moro no meu trabalho. No meu trabalho. Bom, Charles. Looking for more comments. Eu moro na Lima, eu moro no Peru. Muito bom. So Lima is a city, right? So cities are neutral. So eu moro em Lima. Eu moro em Lima. Eu moro no Peru. Muito bom. Excelente, José. Eu moro em Indiana. Muito bom. Here I would say I would use the neutral because I don't think Indiana has a gender in Portuguese. Muito bom. Excelente, gente. Eu moro em Minnesota. Muito bom, John. Eu moro no sul da Inglaterra. So here's interesting, Kate. If you say just I live in England, eu moro na Inglaterra. we should use the word na because it is, Inglaterra is a feminine country, is a feminine word. But if you say eu moro no sul, then you have to change. You have to say no sul because the word sul is masculine. And the preposition has to agree exactly with that word that is referring to. So in this case, it is talking about south, the sul, and it is masculine. So you should say no sul da Inglaterra. Muito bom, excelente. Excelente. Eu moro em Paris, na França. Muito bom. Excelente, gente. Muito bom. So I'm going to continue so we have time to talk about all the content that I prepared for you. I'm not going to read the other examples with the preposition em, but you can download this material so you can study, okay? So, trabalhar em, other examples of how to use the preposition em. Pensar em, like to work at a place. Where do you work at, right? Pensar em, to think of or to think about. So, in this case, it's very different from English, right? So, the translation. We use the preposition em when you think, oh, I'm thinking about, we use the preposition em in Portuguese, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about the preposition de. De means, have two different meanings, can have two different meanings, from or of, okay, when you translate into English. I'm comparing always to English because I hope you guys speak English, so that helps. And this preposition is similar to the preposition em when it comes to the connection with the articles. We do the same thing, okay? So the preposition is de. The pronunciation I know is different depending on the region. In Brazil, some people would say de, some people would say di, but the most common pronunciation is de. De. Okay, this is the most common one. So de is neutral, as every preposition is neutral. But if you use right before a masculine noun, you should say do. If you use right before a feminine noun, you should say da, okay? Because it contracts with the article. So same thing happens with this preposition and the other preposition, tá bem? Exemplos. Eu sou do Brasil, because Brazil is masculine. Eu sou de São Paulo. Why de? Cidades. Remember, cities, they are neutral. Ela é dos Estados Unidos. Masculine plural, ok? Pergunta, de onde você é? Where are you from? De onde você é? How would you answer this question in Portuguese? Remember to use the verb ser. So why do we use verb ser here? Because your origin is permanent. You're never, even if you moved everywhere in the world, you're always going to be from the same place. So it is permanent, right? Eu sou do Brasil. I'm always going to be from Brazil. Certo? Então, como você responderia essa pergunta? How would you answer this question? While you answer the question, I'm just going to give you one more example of this preposition with the verb precisar. Precisar means need. So this is different from English, right? You don't need, in English, you don't need a preposition with the verb need. But in Portuguese, we do use the preposition de. When you're talking about an object, so you need something. But if you're talking about a verb, if you need to do something, then you don't need the preposition de. Confusing, right? I know, but that's how we use the preposition de. Então, por exemplo, eu preciso de novo telefone. I need a new phone. Eu preciso de. You have to use the preposition de here, okay? Ele precisa de ajuda. He needs help. Ele precisa de ajuda. Nós precisamos de carro. We need a car. Nós precisamos de carro, ok? Question for you. Você precisa de carro para ir ao trabalho? Do you need a car to go to work? Você precisa de carro para ir ao trabalho? How would you answer this question in Portuguese? So I just want to compare. There's another verb here that we also use with the preposition de. The verb gostar is always used with the preposition de. The verb precisar, not always. What is the difference? The verb precisar, to need, it is used with the preposition de when there is a noun right after. It is not used with the preposition de when there's a verb right after, okay? But verb gostar, to like, is always used with the preposition G. Okay, so this is a difference, remember that. In Portugal, it is a little bit different. In Portugal, they do use the preposition G with the verb precisar. Tá bem? Okay, guys, let me see some of the comments before I continue. Muito bom. Eu moro na Índia, eu sou da Índia. Excelente. Eu preciso de muita grana. Muito bom, Douglas. We all need it. Eu não preciso de um carro, eu vou de moto. Muito bom. So this is another very good example of the use of the preposition G. When you're talking about means of transportation, how do you go to a place? You use the verb ir, to go. Eu vou. The preposition G and the name of the transportation. Muito bom, Carla. Excelente. Eu não preciso de carro. Excelente, Raul. Muito bom. I'm gonna go a little bit up to see other questions, comments. Muito bom, Jacob. Sou do Canadá. Sou de Berlim. Muito bom. Sou de Paris. Sou da Guatemala. Que legal. Muito bom. Sou dos Estados Unidos. Muito bom. Muito bom. So, se você diz can, do you mean United States or do you mean Europe? If you say just EU, it can be confusing. If you want to mean United States, you should be EUA. You should add the letter A at the end. Okay, we don't use the letters EU to refer to the US. We use 3 letters instead. Like USA, we use EUA, Estados Unidos da América. Or just Estados Unidos. Muito bom, sou de Nairobi, que legal. Sou da Romênia, muito bom, gente, que legal, excelente. So, perfect. So I'm going to continue. So I'm going to finish the content and I'm going to give you some more assignments. Then I'm going to come back and read some more of your comments. If you have questions, think about your questions. And then when I say, okay, now give me your questions, then you give me, because it is hard for me to read all the comments. So when I say that I'm going to read your questions, then you can post your question. Tá bem? So the preposition para in a, this is a little bit tricky as well because there are many details. There is the contraction with the articles, and also there are 2 similar prepositions in Portuguese, the preposition para and the preposition a. They are sometimes synonyms. They are not always synonyms, but sometimes they are. So when you're talking about a movement to one place, from one place to another, like a direction, I'm going to that place, a destination. When you're talking about that, you can use one or the other. The meaning is the same. Sometimes there is like this rule, but people don't actually follow the rule. But the rule will be that we use the word para to talk about a place that you are going for a long time, and we use the preposition a to talk about a place that we are going for a short period of time. But most people don't follow this rule. So let's see the contractions here. So we have the preposition a. If you're talking about a feminine feminine noun, you should contract a plus a. Then we have this little word with this weird accent here. This means there is a preposition plus the article. The preposition a contracted with the article a. Then we have this little weird word a. The preposition a with the article o, we have ao. The preposition para mas a, you could say para a, or you could contract and you have pra. This is more colloquial. This is very, very common in spoken language. Para o, you could say pro, very common in spoken language. But just a reminder, if you're talking about a movement, direction, movement from here to there, usually with the verb ir or the verb viajar, you could say para a, ou pra, no difference in meaning. Para o, ao, ou pro, no difference in meaning in this context, okay? In other contexts, they are not interchangeable. Então, por exemplo, ir para, so the verb to go. This is the one of the most common verbs, and this is the most common use of these prepositions. Ir a lugar, go to a place, ok? Por exemplo, Eu vou para o Brasil todos os anos. I go to Brazil every year. I could also say, eu vou ao Brasil todos os anos. Eu vou pro Brasil todos os anos. No difference in meaning, ok? Eu fui para o Brasil no verão passado. Eu gostaria de ir mais ao Brasil, ok? Question for you to practice. Para quais países você já foi? What countries have you been to? Para quais países você já foi? We have to use the verb to go, verb ir, if in past tense, right? Because the question is in past tense, and the preposition para, ok? Question here I'm seeing, é correto, eu vou à aula. Yes, it is correct, because the word aula is feminine, so here you're using the preposition a and the article, the feminine article a. That is correct. Muito bom. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, I'm just going to give you one more example with the preposition para, with the verb viajar, which is very, very common as well. Por exemplo, eu viajo para o Brasil todos os anos. Eu viajei para o Brasil no verão passado. Eu gostaria de viajar mais para o Brasil, ok? I could replace para o with ao or pro in this context, ok? Question for you to practice. Para onde você viajou no verão passado? Where did you go? Where did you travel to last summer? Para onde você viajou no verão passado? Let me know in the comments. And I'm just going to finish here the lesson before I read your comments, okay? Then I'm going to stop and read your comments and also answer your questions. The last preposition of the lesson is the preposition por. Just a quick comment on this. Prepositions para and por, they can both be translated into English as to and for. How confusing is that? Very confusing. There is no simple way to explain the difference because there are many, many different cases. So we have to spend here 1 hour talking only about this. So I have a video about this on my YouTube channel that can help you. So if you want to learn more about the difference between para and por, don't ask me because I'm not going to have time to answer. Go to my YouTube channel and look for Speaking Brazilian para. If you write this keyword, it will show up a video about this topic, okay? Then you can see the most common differences between these two prepositions. So let's see here one example of the use of the preposition por. This preposition also contracts with the article if you're using this preposition before a feminine noun, but really depends on the case, on the situation. For instance, in the example that I'm going to give you now, you don't have to contract. You don't have to use the article. This preposition is always used when you're talking about how often you do something. This is a very, very common use. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Eu estudo português 2 vezes por semana. Here I'm using the feminine number duas because the word vezes is feminine. Don't worry if you're getting in panic now because I said that the number has a feminine word. Just numbers 1 and 2 have masculine and feminine, okay? The other numbers, they don't have this variation. Just numbers 1 and 2 and the hundreds, they have this variation, okay? Eu estudo português 2 vezes por semana. In this case, in this context, it's mandatory to use the preposition por, okay? Twice a week, 2 vezes por semana. Eu vou ao Brasil 1 vez por ano, okay? Question for you to practice the preposition por. Quantas vezes por semana você estuda português? How many times a week do you study Portuguese? Quantas vezes por semana do you study Portuguese? Você estuda português? I'm mixing Portuguese and English now. I do that sometimes. Muito bom, gente. Now I'm going to read some of your comments. And if you have questions, now is also the moment to ask your questions. Remember to stay with me until the end of the class because we're going to have a giveaway. And you have to be in class at the end to participate in the giveaway, okay? Muito bom, gente. Comments. Eu fui ao sul da França no verão passado. Que legal, Tom. Eu estudo português 7 vezes por semana. Uau, muito bom. Eu estudo cada vez que você posta um vídeo. Excelente, Juan. Excelente! Eu estudo português uma vez por semana. Muito bom, Ancur. Excelente! Estudo português 3 vezes por semana. Muito bom, Charles. 7 vezes. Uau, Bill, vocês são muito estudiosos. 7 vezes. Muito bom, Janet. Remember to write sete in Portuguese does not have the letter I. Sete. Sete. You know, Portuguese and Spanish, it is so interesting because most of the times, or many times, the difference is just like one letter between the two languages. Just one letter, as in this case, sete. Sete. Eu estudo português todos os dias. Muito bom, Michael. Excelente. Eu estudo português muitas vezes por semana. Muito bom, Bárbara. Here we have to use the word muitas, the feminine plural one, because it has to agree with the word vezes. Muitas vezes. Muito bom. Excelente. So many comments. Okay, if you have questions, now it's the time as well, guys, to ask me questions. Pergunta, qual é a diferença entre meu e minho? You mean minha, minha. The word minho does not exist. So meu, let me just copy here, place here. Meu, the difference is very simple. Meu livro, minha caneta. So both these words are translated into English as my or mine. We don't have a different word for my and mine. We have just one, but you have to agree with the gender. So you're always talking about something, right? When you use a possessive pronoun, you're always talking about a noun, an object. So, meu livro, minha caneta, you have to agree with the gender. Meu livro, masculine, minha caneta, feminine. Meus livros, minhas canetas. We also have masculine and we also have plural and singular. Okay, so I also have a video about that on my YouTube channel. Okay, guys, more questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Struggling with the difference between aquele, esse, isso. Can you explain the difference? So this topic is a little bit long, but I'm gonna give you a short answer. You also find a video about this on my YouTube channel. I recommend to take a look so you can study more the details. But basically, esse, essa, and isso, it means this, aquele, and aquela. It means that. And then we also have este, esta, and isto, which also means this. This is masculine, this is feminine, this is neutral, only used like for things, never used for people. If you want to use for people, it's always este or essa. Masculine, feminine, neutral, masculine, feminine. Also, there is the word aquilo. So it means this and that. These are used interchangeably. There is a difference, but no Brazilian follows the difference. They use interchangeably. Look for the video on my YouTube to see more details about that, because it is a long topic. Muito bom, Catherine. Excelente. Looking for more questions, guys. So this question is, uma das minhas favoritas or dos meus favoritos? It depends what you mean. If you're talking about a masculine thing or a feminine thing. So I'm going to give you two examples. Este livro. So I'm using also the example here, right, from Catherine's question. Este livro é dos meus favoritos. So here, you know, this is important in Portuguese. If you have to agree everything has to connect, everything is connected in a sentence. So in this sentence, I'm talking about a book. Book in Portuguese is livro, which is a masculine noun. Everything that refers to the book in the sentence has to agree. Então, este livro, this book, so este has to be masculine, é dos meus favoritos, one of my favorites. The word favorite is has to agree with the noun. Here we use plural. It's one of my favorite because it is the structure of the sentence. I'm going to give you one example in feminine word, using a feminine word. Let me say, I'm just gonna use the same example that I used before. Esta caneta é uma das minhas favoritas. You see? So if you change the word livro por caneta, you have to change everything else. Everything has to connect. Okay, this is agreement. You have to agree everything. Okay, I hope I did not confuse you more, guys, because this topic is a little bit also complicated. So I'm gonna use the last minutes to answer questions about my courses. So if you have any questions about my courses, let me know. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna have the giveaway in 3 minutes. Let me just check here if Aline sent me any question. Okay. So I'm gonna have the giveaway in 3 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Just before we finish the class, I want to remind you that you can download this material. So if you're not here before, remember that you can download this material, and to download the material, all you have to do is to sign up. You have to sign up for this free event. It is free, but you have to sign up if you have not signed up yet. If you have signed up already, just click on the link that I sent you this morning, okay? And remember, if you're interested in one of my courses, don't miss the opportunity to join the courses. Enrollment is open until Saturday only, and after Saturday, the enrollment will be closed for 3 or 4 months. I have not decided yet the date for the next classes. So if you really want to study Portuguese with me and my team, have classes, my classes in the courses, the paid courses, is very different from this one, because this one I have how many, like hundreds of people here watching this class at the same time. So I host this on YouTube because it is easier. But in my courses, the classes are via Zoom in small groups. Okay, so we have just you, the teacher, and 6 to 10 students tops. And so you have a lot of opportunity to practice, ask questions, and practice your Portuguese, improve your pronunciation. So it is very different in this context. So let's see. I see that you have questions. Which courses for advanced learners do you have? If your level is advanced, I recommend the Speaking Brazilian Academy. It is actually for upper intermediate levels. I don't have one course exclusive for advanced learners, but the classes are very advanced. You will practice conversation basically. If you're looking to learn advanced grammar or intermediate level grammar, I recommend the Grammar and Conversation workshop. But if you're looking for a place, if you really don't need to learn grammar anymore, you just want a place to practice Portuguese, to ask questions, to be in a community of other learners of Brazilian Portuguese, I recommend the Speaking Brazilian Academy. Is the best one for advanced students, okay? Muito bom. Any other questions? Okay, just scrolling down to see if you guys have. How are intro courses set up time-wise? So my intro course is the essential course for beginners, is this one here that I'm showing on the screen. This course is very complete. I'm very proud of it. There is a lot of content that you're going to learn in this course. It is an intensive course. So when you sign up, you have access to the first module. And each week you have access to another module, and each module has a group of lessons. So all my courses are a combination of pre-recorded content and live classes via Zoom. So there is the material to study by yourself. You should take in the essential course for beginners, it is an intensive course, so you should take up 3 to 4 hours a week to study all the content. And we have, in addition to that, a live class via Zoom with your teacher to practice the content of the week and to have your questions answered, okay? So it lasts 12 weeks, the entire course. You have a lifetime access to the course, so you can choose to take the course at this schedule, 12 weeks, or you can choose to take at your own pace if you prefer. But if you want to join the live classes, I recommend that you take the course in 12 weeks so everyone is on the same page, you know? So you have more information about this course on this page. I hope I answered your question. Sarah, if you have more questions, let me know. Okay, guys, just see if I have one more question. So how long are the lessons of your courses? So when you sign up, you have access to, depending on the course, you have access to many videos. The videos are usually short, and in addition, but usually you have like a series of videos, not just one. You have many videos. I like to make them short so you don't get tired, so you can stop one video and then take a break and then study another one. And also a lot of lesson guides and material that you could print if you want, or you can just have the PDF if you prefer. And in addition to this material that you should study by yourself, you have the live classes via Zoom. The live classes are 55 minutes long, okay? 55 minutes long. These are the classes with your teacher via Zoom. The other lessons, they vary a lot in size. I have videos from 5 to 10 minutes long. In the academy, some videos are longer, 15 to 30 minutes long. So it really depends on the level and depends on the course. Muito bom, gente. Very good questions. Looking for more questions about my course, but I think I have answered all your questions. If you have any other questions, so just one more here. In your courses, do you type questions or speak? So both, both in the beginner's course and all the questions, you see everything on the screen, so you can read. But the students, you are going to speak, so get ready to speak. If you don't want to join the Zoom class, it is optional. If you don't want, if you're not comfortable, oh, I don't want to speak in class, I'm not comfortable with that, you can choose the option. If you go here to the end of the page, you see there's the option. The premium option includes live classes via Zoom, which means all students have video and audio on. You are going to speak in class, okay? And you're going to ask questions and answer questions in Portuguese in class. The teacher, of course, is going to help you. But if you don't want that, you can join the basic course. This basic option does not include the weekly live classes. It only includes one review class once a month. And in this class, the review class is also via Zoom. But if you don't want to join the live class, you can just watch a replay, okay? So usually you don't type. The teacher types things on the screen so you can read it, but the students, they don't have to type anything. Muito bom, gente. Very good questions. I just want to remind you guys that I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not sure, feel free to try it. If you really want to try it, you can try it for a couple of weeks. And if you change your mind, just let us know within 30 days, and I'll just send you a full refund. Or if you decide to change, or if you think, oh, this course is too easy, can I try the other one? I can switch you to another class, okay? Is there an option if someone wanted to partake in the live classes alone besides the private tutoring? Yes, you can join the courses and have private classes as well if you want. You would have to sign up into different places, but it is an option. Just email us and we can send you information about how to join courses with the live classes and private tutoring. I think that is your question, right, Jessie? Yes, so if you're already in, Jessie, I think I know who you are. I think you were already having private lessons, right? If you want to join one of the courses on the side, you're welcome to do that. I think that it is going to be very helpful for you. I have many students that do the two things. They join the courses and they also have private classes on the side, because if you need more help, if you really want to have like 1 hour with a teacher, just the two of you, so you can really practice your Portuguese a lot in a more intensive way. We also have private classes available, okay? You'll find all the information on my website, guys. Muito bom, very good questions. Question from Charles. I have a question. Let's say I sign up for your beginner's course, I complete that, and I'm ready to move to intermediate class. Would I have to pay for your course again? I'm not sure I understand. I mean, if you have to sign up for each course. So when you finish one course, you have to sign up again for the next course. But if you have already completed one of my courses, I always give you a discount to join the next class. So this is one advantage for the students who have already taken one of my courses. You can have a discount to join the next class, okay? Are there any exams? I don't have exams, but in the beginner's course, you have a final quiz at the end. It is optional, but if you want to have a certificate from the course, you have to do the final quiz, and then you receive a certificate. It's not exactly exam, but it is a quiz, an online quiz. Very good questions, guys. Okay, I think that's it. I think I answered all your questions. And now I'm going to say who is the winner of the giveaway. Let me see here. Okay. So Charles is asking, when does your enrollment period end? So my classes are open until Saturday. Okay, you can sign up for my classes till Saturday. Okay, so the winner of this giveaway is Daniela Kessler. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I have no idea. So you are the winner. You won a pronunciation class with one of my teachers. It is a private 101 class. I hope you are excited. So to receive more information, email Aline at school@speakingbrazilian.com, and she'll give you all the information about how to sign up for this class that you just won. Okay, guys? So Daniela Kessler. Muito bom! Excelente, gente! Can I attend? I'm just gonna see if you have any questions that I did not answer before I finish the class, so you can hang out for a couple more minutes. Are there 12 classes similar to the 3 review classes? No, each class covers the topic of that week. And in the review class, I'm going to review, the review classes are all with me, so we all are going to have classes with me. I cannot teach all the classes every week because it is impossible. Literally, there are classes that are at the same time. But I offer these review classes because I want you guys to have classes with me at least once a month. So the review classes are with me. The group is a little bit larger. And I will review the most important things and answer your questions, okay? So the content is different. It is going to overlap a little bit, but it's different. And when you sign up, yes, you can attend both. So you have 1 class a week plus 1 review class with me a month if you choose the premium plan. If you choose the basic plan, you're just going to have 1 review class with me a month, okay? So either way, you're going to have the review classes with me. Muito bom. Excelente, gente. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll be here again tomorrow. Same time. Tomorrow the class is intermediate level. So if you can already understand Portuguese, even if you're not intermediate level yet, but if you think that you can understand a class 100% in Portuguese, come tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's class. We're going to talk about compound tenses, which is a very important topic for intermediate level students. Okay? Beijo grande, bom dia para vocês e até amanhã. Tchau, tchau!